we will be handing out direct payments by April 6th to all Americans, and it's going to be tremendous. It's going to be splendid. The best deal ever made. So that basically was said by President Trump, during the press briefing last night. After like freaking hours of a debate that I had to watch, or not a debate, but just the Senate going back and forth on whether or not they wanted to pass this bill, they passed it. They passed a roughly $2 trillion coronavirus relief plan. In this, individuals will be getting like $1,200. A family of four can get like up to $3,200, I think. So there's a lot of there's arguments to all of it and everything. Personally, I do support it. I don't know if I support as like the amount of money given to every individual, and I am kind of scared of, will this decentivize work? I hope it doesn't, because it's a lot of money, and a lot of these people will be getting more money from this than they do in their actual job. So that's the only thing I'm scared about. But other than that, there is one big thing that has come to mind as well. Everyone's talking about it. So President Trump said that the checks will be sent out, the money or whatever will be sent out by April 6th. So roughly like less than 2 weeks. And in the past, this hasn't worked out very well. And former IRS employees, commissioners have been saying that that's going to be very, very hard. That's a very hard deadline to meet. So like in 2008, 2009, checks were also sent out like at that time by the IRS, and it took like over 2 months to get the money to people. So this is like, it takes a lot, especially now because, from previous tax returns and stuff that people have filed, maybe their address has changed, maybe, their direct deposit forms, it's different, something like that. So it's going to be very hard. It takes a while, much longer than what people would initially expect it to take. With that being said, though, I've come to the conclusion, if this happens, if people get if checks are sent out by April 6th, this happens, this is almost impossible to meet. And if this deadline is met by Trump's administration, this is this will legitimize President Trump's presidency even more. Like when he starts back on the campaign trail, when and if he does, he's gonna use this to the best of his advantage. I mean, this is huge. That would win him. That would win him the presidency, his second term. That would win his second term right there. If he does this, he's gonna be he will go down as one of the most effective leaders that our country has ever seen to this day. Whether you love him or hate him, that's just the truth. Trust me, he pisses me off all the time, 24/7. I can't stand his moral character. But when it comes to policy, when it comes to getting business done, he knows how to get it done. He has shown throughout this entire thing, I think, in my perspective, what a leader is. And he doesn't give a damn about anyone else's opinion. He's just going to get it done. He's worked with both sides of the aisle. He's done a great job at it. I'm very happy with how Trump has handled this whole situation. And the media is blowing it way out of proportion, acting as if he's been this terrible president in such a terrible time. Like he's done an awful job. He's done a very, very great job. I will say that, because if he would have stayed the same Trump, during this, the Senate wouldn't be passing a $2 trillion corona relief, package. Now, with that said, with these stimulus checks and everything, at first thought I was scared. I didn't believe it would do. I thought it would harm us in the future. Now, and especially economically, but now I am thinking this is something that needs to be done. It does, and we'll get through it. We got through the Great Depression. We've gotten through the Great Recession in '08. We can get through it. This is something we need to do to help businesses stay afloat, to help families pay their bills, because it's a stressful time. Even for me, it's a very stressful time right now. and the future is unpredictable. And we haven't even reached the peak of this yet. So it's going to take time. It's going to take months and months down the road, but we need to get through this. It's the government's job to protect the well-being of all citizens and to assure that they can live their daily lives using their constitutional rights and, on the pursuit of happiness. They're living and they're just, you know what I mean. I'm white. It's too early. You know what I mean. But this is something the government needs to do. I'm very happy with how Congress has handled this. Watching the debate last night on the Senate floor, I was very, very pleased with what I saw. There was actually civil discourse. They were actually trying to get shit done finally, and not to benefit either side, to benefit the American people. And I'm very happy with how it's all played out. So they've done a great job. Shout out to Congress. For once, I could say shout out to Congress. And shout out to Trump. And if he gets these out, if these checks are sent out by April 6th, this motherfucker's going to go down as one of the best presidents. Maybe not one of the best characters to be president, but he's going to go down as one of the most effective presidents of all time. And whether you like it or not, that's a fact. That's all facts. That's real talk. And that's my thought on it. Let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know, like this and shit, subscribe. Let's get to it. Quick video. This is my thoughts on it, and be waiting for the weekly podcast, the Cultural Report podcast, coming out Monday. But anyway, in the meantime, let's get it. Keep working, keep grinding, and don't let this shit slow you down, man. Keep going, bro. But until next time, I'll see y'all later. Peace.